These last two games for us Barca fans have been, I mean, talk about an ass clencher. Talk about an ass clencher. This team is different. I don't even know if I should say it after this game, but that was insane, man. That was insane. There's this whole debate going around in Twitter and all in social media about how could 100 men defeat one gorilla. We don't need 100 men. We need 11 Barca players. They could single-handedly defeat any gorilla, any polar bear, any creature on earth. This is the most resilient group of Barca players I've ever seen. They don't quit. Actually, funny enough, fuck 11 Barca players. Hansi Flick, could 100 gorillas defeat one Hansi Flick? That's the better question. Could 100 gorillas defeat Hansi Flick by himself? The answer is no. I don't know what this dude did to this team, but the mentality is so different. It's actually insane. You know what? This team is different. I'm going to say it with conviction. This team is fucking different, bro. That was insane. That was ridiculous. I mean, we haven't been in the UCL semifinals for 6 years. That was a way to make a comeback, bro. That was a way to reintroduce ourselves to the UCL semifinals. The game started off as bad as any game could start off. I mean, Thuram scores 40 seconds into the game. It's a cross into the box. Íñigo slips and Thuram with a back heel. I don't even know where the fuck he pulled that from, man. It seems like these goals only happen against Barcelona in the UCL. How did Thuram score that goal? I don't know how he scored that goal. It's not Íñigo's fault. I mean, he slips, but I think if Íñigo doesn't slip, he can make a play on that. But again, he slips and they score, and we were down 1-0. And that's literally the worst way you could start a game, especially against this team. This Inter team, who they were looking to get ahead early so they could just defend. They could just defend. And then, you know, after they scored that goal, Barca were looking resilient, man. They were actually pushing forward. Lamine Yamal was cooking. We'll talk about Lamine Yamal later because just a phenom. But Barca they were still pushing forward. They weren't giving up. Their heads weren't down. They were trying to go out and tie the game. And then from a set piece, Dumfries scores. From a fucking set piece, man. That stupid corner. He scores like some bicycle kick. Just an insane goal. Again, these goals that these teams score against Barca, these players score against Barca are insane. But yeah, just a great bicycle kick by Dumfries. And I was panicked at that point, man. I was panicked, but you know what? I shouldn't have been, because we saw the same thing happen against Atletico Madrid in that same stadium in the semifinals, in the first leg of the semifinals of the Copa del Rey, and Barca came back. Because this team always finds a way to come back. This team always finds a way to come back. And Lamine Yamal started cooking. And oh my God, that was insane. That goal that he scored was big game player. He's 17 years old, man. The moment is never too big for this young man. Because calling him a kid it's an insult. He's a young man. He's a young phenom, bro. What he does for that goal, it's literally ridiculous. I don't think we comprehend how good this kid is. I called him a kid. Oh, fuck, man. I ruined the moment. I don't think we comprehend how good this young man is. I don't really think we understand how good he is. That finish, bro, posting in. I mean, the touch on that ball. I mean, it's perfect, bro. It was literally perfect. And then Barca caught life. Barca caught life. And they started cooking. They were counter-pressing so well, man. Inter could not get out of their own half. Barca were just, every time they lost the ball, they would win it back. They would win it back every single time, whether it was Pedri or it was Dani Olmo or it was Frankie de Jong or it was Lamine Yamal tracking back and winning it back. It was insane. They just kept winning the ball back, kept trying to create chances and trying to get that second goal to tie up the game. And they did that. They got the second goal and they tied the game. Pedri with a great ball into the box to Rafinha. Rafinha heads into the middle of the box, and Ferran Torres, the shark, man. He was stalking his prey. The ball was his prey, and he puts it into the back of the net. And Rafinha with an assist. We're farming those stats for the Ballon d'Or. We will be there when Rafinha or Lamine Yamal or Pedri, whoever it is, wins the Ballon d'Or. Okay, but that was amazing. That was amazing. That goal, it was like that ball from Pedri and the header from Rafinha and the awareness from Ferran Torres to make that run and actually, you know, and make that run into the box and tuck it away. It was just beautiful, man. It was so beautiful. And at 2-2, bro, I've never celebrated a goal that much. Honestly, I celebrated that goal more than the Kunde goal in the Copa del Rey final on Saturday. I celebrated that goal more. It was insane. It was insane. But yeah, man. Sorry, I was gonna burp and then I held it in. But yeah, man. Lamine Yamal, that first half was insane. That first half was honestly ridiculous. He was in such a flow state, bro. He was in a flow state. Like one game that always comes to my mind when I think of a player in a flow state was Neymar against PSG in that remontada back in 2017 in the round of 16 of the UCL. Obviously, that famous game, the one that Barca won 6-1. And it seemed like every time Neymar touched the ball in that game, he was making something happen. He was doing something that you were just like, how the fuck is this guy a real football player? And the same thing happened with Lamine today. Every time he got the ball in that first half, and even in the second half, even though he was a little bit more quiet in the second half, I was just like, how is this guy a real player? How can you be this good at something? I pray one day to be as good at something as Lamine Yamal is at football. Is that glazing? I don't know, bro, but he's so good at what he does, man. He was single-handedly carrying that attack in the first half. Rafinha and Ferran, I understand Rafinha got an assist and Ferran got the goal for the second goal. They weren't creating anything. It was all Lamine Yamal. They were giving him the ball on that right-hand side. And he was cooking. He was making something happen. And yeah, man, that's one of the best first half displays you will ever see from a player. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I know I said it a lot, but I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. That was ridiculous, bro. But there was a lot of negatives from that first half. Obviously, conceding 2 goals and needing to come back. But the biggest negative from that first half, when we got to talk about it, is Koundé going off injured. A non-contact injury from Jules Koundé. He knew it right away. He took off both of his shin guards. He knew he was going to come off. And that's a big blow for Barca. That is a big blow for Barca. That's just not something you want to see. Lautaro Martinez also got injured right before halftime. This is the problem with playing all these competitions and all these games. These players get to these games. It's supposed to be the premier game in world football. The UCL semifinal between 2 great teams and 2 of the best players on the pitch. 2 of the best players in the world at their position have to come off because of non-contact injuries, because there's so much stress on their muscles. There's so much fatigue, man. There's so much fatigue with these players. You can sense it. It's unacceptable, man. UEFA and in all these football federations, all these different competitions, they milk these players too much, and it ruins the product for us, the fans. That is so annoying. But anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. We'll see what Koundé's diagnosis is. Hopefully he's not out for too long. And hopefully Lautaro Martinez is fine as well, man. Obviously a rival player and a guy that I'm very scared of course, because he's a great player. But I don't want to see him be injured either. I mean, he was crying when he was coming off the pitch. That's not something you want to see. But yeah, bro. Second half, Flick made some changes. Gerard Martin went off the game. Thank you. And Araujo came in. And also Eddie Garcia obviously came in for Koundé. Koundé got hurt right before halftime. Eddie Garcia came in and replaced him at right back. And I think those changes were good. Barca were playing with 4 center backs at that point. They had Inigo at left back, which I brought up that question on Twitter a couple weeks back when Balde got hurt. Everybody said I was stupid, but Inigo's looked pretty good in the cameos he's made at left back. So you had Inigo at left back, you had Cubarsi, you had Araujo, and then you had Eddie Garcia at right back. And that back line to me, I mean, today it was just... First to start, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I know these reviews are sometimes all over the place. But yeah, Barca were playing with 4 center backs in that second half to start off. And, you know, we were looking good. I thought in the start of the second half, we were looking good. We were trying to create a chance. We were trying to create chances, trying to get that 3rd goal to actually get ahead this time. But then again, from a fucking corner, Dumfries scores again. Dumfries scored a brace against Barcelona at Montjuic. I think it's Dani Olmo who loses him. Obviously, I think he was supposed to be marking Dumfries. Maybe it was Araujo. I think it was Olmo because they were fighting with each other prior to the corner being taken in the box. So I think Dani Olmo doesn't really track him that well. Dumfries just gets some space in the box and he heads it. And I think it hits off a Barca player and it goes into the roof of the net. Could Szczesny be doing better there? Possibly, but I'm not going to blame that 100% on Tech because it was so close to him, bro. It's hard for your reflexes to actually react in that moment. So I'm not really going to blame Tech for that, but we were down 3-2. We were down 3-2 at that point. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? But you know what? At that point, I'm not even joking when I say this. I promise you I'm not joking. I knew Barca were going to score. I honestly knew Barca was going to score. I know I sound like LeBron James right now. Like, that's my favorite saying. Like, I'm lying. I promise you I'm not. I promise you I knew Barca was going to score. I didn't think Barca... I hadn't... Like, once Barca tied it up at 2-2, I was like, this team is not leaving the stadium losing this game. They're not going back to Italy... down on aggregate. They're not doing it. And literally 2 minutes later, a corner for us. Lamine Yamal lets it go through his feet, and Rafinha's right there. And Rafinha, from way outside the box, shoots it. It hits the post. A great shot. I wish it would have been a Rafinha goal, but instead it hits off the post, or off the crossbar, sorry, and it hits Sommer in the back of the head, and it goes in. And that is the biggest indicator as to why this team is different this year. That the luck is finally on our side. Barca teams from the past, that ball hits off the crossbar and Sommer fucking catches it with his ass cheeks. Somehow the ball just perfectly lands in Sommer's ass cheeks and it's not going to be a goal. Somehow it would have happened. I promise you it would have. But this year, the ball hits off the back of his head and it goes into the back of the net. And Barca drew 3-3. And yes, after we drew 3-3, I was shitting my pants because it seemed like every time Barca didn't have the ball, Barca out of possession today, I was shitting my pants, bro. That high line was killing me. Mkhitaryan scored that goal, and it was literally this much offside. But it was offside. But man, oh my God, out of possession, every time Barca lost the ball, bro, it seemed like every time they lost the ball, they were going forward and doing something threatening. But I think Araujo held his own fairly well. I think Inigo had a great cameo at left back. I thought Eddie Garcia came in at right back, and man, what a performance he had. He did it against Mallorca, he does it again today. Play him. Play him. And I thought Kubarsi was fantastic. Man, he made a tackle on Thuram. What a tackle he made, bro. He made such an insane tackle on Thuram. This guy, bro, in these big games, bro, these young Barca players, the moment never phases them. It never phases them, bro. I'm so proud of this team, man. I know they didn't win the game, but the resilience they showed and the fight they showed in this game, it should make every Barca fan proud. And I know every single rival fan, when Barca were down 2-0, they were smiling. Oh, same old Barca. Fuck you. Fuck you. You have no idea what you're talking about, okay? This team is different. And you should know that because if you watch my videos, I've said it to you guys multiple times. Not to Barca fans, but to rival fans. When I say this team is different, it's not really a message to Barca fans. It's a message to the rival fans that think this is the same old Barca. It's not. It's not the same old Barca. But yeah, man, Rafinha, I mean, he hasn't been his best, obviously. Since that international break in March, he has not been on his best. But he had an assist today, and he's the reason why Barca scored that third goal. He had a great shot on goal towards the end of that game where Sommer made an insane save. It was just, I think it was a good game from Rafinha. I think it was a good game. Then we saw Christensen come onto the pitch. We saw Olmo, obviously we saw, not Olmo, sorry, Olmo came off and Fermin came on for him, and I thought Fermin was actually decent, but we saw Christensen come on for Kubarsi, which was ridiculous. Honestly, I thought I was dreaming. I forgot Christensen was part of this team. And, you know, I thought actually in the minutes that he played, he was fairly good. I thought, you know, Christensen is a valuable piece of this team. And now that we have Koundé possibly hurt, he's gonna be important to this team. He's going to be very important to this team. But yeah, man, Lamine Yamal also had a chance where, you know, Ferran picked up the ball, on the half turn, he picked up the ball, he made a great run into the box, he gave it to Lamine Yamal on the right hand side, and Lamine like chipped it. I thought he was going to pass it to Rafinha. I thought it was a pass to Rafinha, and ended up hitting the crossbar. If that would have gone in, it would have been insane. But yeah, man, let's talk about the players now, man. Tech conceded 3. I don't think the first 2 were his fault. That Thuram back heel, you cannot expect him to do that. And I don't think it was savable anyway. That Dumfries back bicycle kick was an insane finish from him. Great job from Dumfries. That third goal, you could possibly put it on him. But I thought Szczesny, coming out of his box today, was amazing. Like, every time Inter tried to play those balls in behind, Szczesny would read it and intercept it. And not intercept it, sorry, but he would read it and, yeah, intercept it. He would break up the play. He would come out of his goal and fucking kick it out of bounds. I thought he was good with doing that today. I thought he had good command of his box as well. I thought Szczesny wasn't terrible. Again, conceded 3 goals, so I'm not gonna give him a 10 out of 10. I don't do match ratings anyway, but I think he was good. I think one of the goals maybe was his fault, but the other 2 weren't really his fault. Then we move on to the back line. Gerard Martin, when he played, it's just he gives me no confidence at all. I thought Inigo was much better at left back when he came on. Then we have obviously Kubarsi. I thought he was fantastic today, man. This guy, like I said already, the moment's never too big for him. What a fantastic player he is. Araujo, obviously, who came in for Gerard Martin in the second half, he was good to me. I thought Araujo was good today, man. When you need him to defend, he's a great defender. He also had a tackle on Thuram, which was an immense tackle. I think actually Araujo played well today, man. I actually do think he played really well today when he came on. These cameos he has coming off the bench, he's been really decent for us, man. So I thought Araujo had a decent game. Then we move on to Koundé at first at right back. I don't think Koundé was having his best game, but still, you never want to see him go off injured like that, man. It's such a blow, bro. Because I was riding in such a high when Barca went into halftime tied, and then we see Koundé go down, and it's like, bro, all that for what? To see Koundé injured? It's almost like we lost. It's almost like we had lost the game when Koundé got injured. That's the way I felt. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Koundé, he's going to be out, but then obviously Eddie Garcia came in for him, and I thought Eddie had a really good cameo. Just really impressed by Eddie Garcia and his ability to be so versatile, man. He's such a versatile player, and I'm so glad that he stayed in the winter. I'm so glad Hansi Flick convinced him to stay in the winter because he's been a gem for this team. He's honestly been such a gem, and what a warrior he is. And yeah, then move on to the midfield. Pedri, just insane, bro. What a player he is. This team doesn't function without Pedri and Lamine Yamal. I love Rafinha. You guys know how much I love Rafinha. I think Lewandowski is a great player. Ferran Torres, all these guys, man, they're really, really good. The cornerstones, the key pieces to this team are Xavi and are Messi, are Lamine Yamal and Pedri. What a player he is, man. You give him the ball, nobody can take him off. Nobody can take it off him. He tracks back and wins the ball back. His press resistance is so good. What a player. What a player he is. and obviously had a hockey assist. He had the pass that led to the assist from Rafinha that led to the goal to Ferran Torres. So Pedri was amazing. Frankie de Jong, I thought Frankie had a good game. He was obviously dropping in between the two center backs, helping out on the build-up. He had a couple sloppy passes in that first half, but I actually think Frankie had a decent game today. Not much bad to say about Frankie de Jong. He's one of those guys where he's never going to wow you with like an insane play. He's never going to do like a rainbow flick, or he's never going to do anything crazy like that. But Frankie de Jong is just an efficient football player, and I thought he was actually very good today. Dani Olmo wasn't his best in my opinion. I think Danny's been kind of off these past couple games. He gets pissed every time he gets taken off the pitch, but he hasn't been great. Honestly, he hasn't been great. He missed a chance from a great pass from Lamine Yamal in that first half where Sommer made a great save on it. That's a goal. That's a chance he should be scoring in my opinion, but I think Danny's a guy who he kind of, he comes and goes. Mostly he's good, but sometimes he comes and goes, and I think Flick was right to bring in Fermin. And when Fermin came on, man, had a couple moments, wasn't great, obviously didn't score, didn't assist, but I think Fermin is a good guy to bring off the bench because he has that energy, man. He just has that energy that you feel like every time he has the ball, he might make something spectacular happen. So, again, I don't think Fermin was outstanding, but I was happy to see him come on for Dani Olmo. Move on to left wing, Rafinha, just, again, goal and an assist. Not a goal, but a shot that led to an own goal, which was an insane shot, and obviously had the assist, a great header into the middle of the box to Ferran Torres. Wasn't Rafinha's best game. It wasn't vintage Rafinha that we saw obviously in October, and we saw in December, in the early months of the season, and even back in January. It wasn't that Rafinha. But Barca, we don't come back in this game if it wasn't for Rafinha. It's just a fact of the matter. So I'm happy for Rafinha, man, because I think this performance might just wake him up a little bit for that second leg in Turin. Not in Turin, bro. In Milan, sorry. I'm thinking of Juventus. In Milan. And if Barca want to go through to the final, we're going to need him to obviously step up there. Ferran Torres scored a goal, and I thought his overall center forward play was decent, man. I thought he was linking up well. I like him a lot, man. I don't think this team would be any different, honestly, with Lewandowski. People talk about how we really miss Lewandowski. Honestly, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, bro. I really don't, man. I like what Ferran is doing. I really like what Ferran is doing. I don't think the score today is different with Lewandowski. I really don't think it is. So I like Ferran. I like what he's doing. Obviously, he took his goal and had just great instincts in the box to actually read that pass from Rafinha and put it into the back of the net. So happy for Ferran, the fact that he got his goal again. Was he 2017 Ronaldo today? No, but he was decent. Then we move on to Lamine Yamal, bro. Man of the match in my opinion. Second half was a little bit more quiet from him because just Inter were throwing everything at him, and they would not let him breathe. But he had that little chance. He had that chance where he did that roulette in the second half and got off and Inter were pressing him, and he avoided it, and he got away from it, man. He's just so insane. What a player he is, bro. I don't think we understand how good that young man is. I didn't mess it up this time. I said young man. He's so good. But yeah, bro. Now the second leg, we got to see what happens there. I believe in this team 100%. I believe in this team 100%. Koundé's injury scares the shit out of me, but I believe in Eddie Garcia. We have to do a better job of defending set pieces because honestly, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. We have to do a better job of it. Chouameni scores a set piece against us. Today, from two set pieces we concede. It's unacceptable, man. It's got to be better. And I understand that Inter have a very big and physical team, but we got to do better than that. In the second leg, I would start Araujo. We need something to negate that Thuram presence because Araujo and Thuram are basically the same size. You need somebody there. Inigo and Kuwarch are just not big enough to deal with him. They're just not big enough to deal with him. So you need Araujo. Christensen is also a big dude, so you might need him too in that second leg. Fucking play Christensen as well. I don't know. I know Flick is going to cook something up. The game against Valladolid, play the B team, man. Call up Barca B and put him on the pitch. We have to focus on this, man. We're 90 minutes away from going to Munich. We're 90 minutes away from a UCL final for the first time in 10 years. The fans want this, man. The fans want this. Fuck Valladolid. Okay? I don't care. Madrid's not going to win the league. That team is dead, man. Rudiger's out. Their whole back line is injured, bro. They're not... Alaba, unfortunately, got injured in training, I'm pretty sure. That team is not doing anything, bro. Focus on the UCL, please. But yeah, man, just ridiculous. I hope that Koundé's injury is not serious. But I love this team so much, man. I love this team so much, and that was a roller coaster of emotions. That was an ass clencher, but that must be what it feels like. After this game, I know what it feels like now to take back shots. I never knew what it felt like, but now I know what it feels like to take back shots from OG Mudbone. You know, we bring him up a lot in these videos, so might as well keep it going. Now I know what it feels like, man, because my ass is sore. This taking out of context would be ridiculous. I'm clip farming. Uncle's clip farming. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't clip farm. That's stupid. But or maybe I do. Who the fuck knows? I honestly don't give. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, bro. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I cannot wait for Tuesday. I'm not gonna sleep until Tuesday, bro. I will not be able to sleep until Tuesday. Honestly, I don't know about you guys. I will not be able to sleep until Tuesday. I'm just ridiculous, man. But I love this team so much. I love Lamine Yamal so much. I love every single player on that team, man. I cannot believe Christensen made a cameo. What the fuck? Christensen, man. We haven't seen him since the first game at the Mestalla. You know how ridiculous that is? Christensen. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. I love you guys so much, bro. Let's continue to believe in this team because they've given us no reason to believe. They've given us no reason not to. This team is not full of quitters. This team is full of resilient and amazing players that they're just different, bro. They're different, and I know you guys see that too. So yeah, man. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How are you feeling about the next leg in Milan? Are you nervous? Obviously, you're nervous. I'm nervous. We should all be nervous. It's not going to be easy. Inter are not some walkover. We saw it today. They're not having they weren't on their best run of form coming into this game. But, you know, it's the UCL semifinal. And these teams turn up. So we got to see. And we got to see what happens with Lautaro. I think he's going to be out for a significant period of time because obviously he was crying. But again, we'll know the injuries probably later today. Lautaro and Kunde, what happens to them. But yeah, man, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.